Buccaneers. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
That 180. I'm coming after you. Switch. 59.
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Yeah.
To throw is Stafford. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
Strong right. You got three down.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
250. Mike, 45. Hey, here I come.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's second and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
50.
On second and 9, Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wonder about his mechanics right now, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Winston and the Bucs take over now, first and 10 at the 20.
Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Working out of the gun. Winston. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Devon Kennard in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Amendola set to return it. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Levante David, the Bucs' leading tackler, 6 of the last 7 years in there to make the stop.
At the 35-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go, baby. Hey, 50.
Stafford now to throw. James has got it. Complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Now Stafford. He's going to air one out, and it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
So they wound up passing on a long field goal try, but that works out for them really well. That one's down inside the 5-yard line.
And it's risky because your punter, if he puts it in the end zone, the net result not worth it, but there, I think worth it.
All day, just like that. Just like that. Check, check. Lucky.
They'll start on the ground with Barber. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Out of his end zone, Winston. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20.
Chris Godwin, the former Penn Stater, should see an increase in action and production in 2019 with Adam Humphries and Deshaun Jackson gone from the team. 842 yards in 2018, second only to Mike Evans on the Buccaneers.
Airing this one out for him. He's got a man complete. The 30, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, 80 81 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
1st and 10 at the 40.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. Jones has it. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 1st down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
Detroit Lions, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Zebra.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Intended for Danny Amendola. Incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Oh, here we go.
Throwing again. Stafford. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range, so now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Easy alert.
Throwing again at Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 15-yard line. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kerryon Johnson with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point good by Prater, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
We got three, fellas. We got three.
On 2nd down, Barber. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
You got it.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a 1st down.
And the Buccaneer 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Trey Flowers, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Let's go.
Jameis to throw it. It's complete. It's Miller.
Let's get off the field.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They go play action. Winston. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. And the young buck, the rookie, just racked up his 1st career interception.
And how about the scouting department? They've got to be very happy right now because in NFL parlance, he's a 3rd-day selection. Anyone after the 4th round, that's big-time scouting right there. And what a great play he just made.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. In on the stop, Vernon Hargraves.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week, he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Here we go, D.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Drill right, 22. Easy alert.
From the gun on third down, Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They're going to try the jet sweep on 3rd and long. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Here comes Amendola. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And his throw here is incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And it's 2nd down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Stafford gives to Johnson on the draw. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Johnson, and an alley to run. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll stay on the ground with Barber. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Winston on 3rd and 2. Airing this one out for Evans. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
This is taken around the 12. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned.
Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. So that is 2 pick sixes he's thrown in this football game. Now, you take those away, Charles, it's a completely different situation.
It totally is, but guess what? They have to deal with what they have now, okay? So they can't just mentally go, well, if we hadn't thrown those pick sixes, we'd be okay. Here's where you are. Here's where you're going to battle. But guess what? They're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Stafford here coming off his pick 6. Open man is Galladay, complete. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Stafford on first down. Complete to Jones. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. From the gun, a run for Johnson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Well, when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or a 2-deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front and then maybe climbing to the second level, that offensive lineman or tight end getting up to the second level and able to block the safety in order to create a big run.
Yeah, making those linemen work with a couple blocks. They look good doing it there.
Ready? 250.
On first down, Stafford here. That is caught at the 7. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's under a heavy rush. rush, and down he goes. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Here's Stafford. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by the rookie linebacker from LSU, Devin White. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. 2nd and 9 now from the 21.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Once again, it's Barber, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. The ex-Iowa Hawkeye Mike Daniels in for the sack.
Like how they've started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now a play fake it at Stafford. Looking deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big pickup of 38. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
On 1st and 10, Stafford being chased out left. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Lady, it's 11-11.
To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford. And this is caught by Curse. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. He'll get this one to Galladay. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Golladay, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. Prater for the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they got an answer for it.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Barber. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at the... And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point. A very important extra point there, up and good, and an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll need to regroup after the costly interception last time. It led to a tying touchdown. 21 all is where we stand, and they've got it first and 10. A run on first down, but it's not going to get them much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay. Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run. Winston. He completes it to Evans. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
First down.
If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Play action now. Winston. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds, because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Throwing again. Winston on second and 10. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the first down with his legs. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Barber. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. From the gun, Winston. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Mike Daniels with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. They had to get it away from their end zone somewhat, but still a long way to go.
Had to start somewhere. That's probably the best outcome possible.
They'll run on first down. It's Johnson, and he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. It's a leverage by the offensive line to create space up front. Really well done.
On second down, it's Johnson, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now a play fake here on first down. Looking downfield for Jones. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
James has got it, complete. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock, but I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn it into a big game.
The Lions on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a first down or more. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
180. 54 Mike. Guys, stay in situation. Let's go.
Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
I got one. Mike, middle.
Now Stafford. He's got his man. It's Curse. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the fourth.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown late in the game. They look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
TJ Logan on the return. The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. And a timeout is called. So now you're looking at probably just one final play from back in their own territory, and they're going to need a miracle. He's back to throw. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. Now they do indeed get the timeout, so all is not lost. They'll have a chance for one final heave to the end zone. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's first and 10. One last shot now for Winston. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, Charles, this one's going to be hard to digest. You take the lead into the fourth quarter, lose that lead. Maybe they felt like they let this one slip away a little bit.
They will definitely feel like that because when you have a lead in the fourth quarter, all you talk about doing is finishing and closing a game out. But when you flip it over, how about that?